Hello, I'm Brandy Garrett. Welcome to Short Film Universe. How did you get started in the film business?
I'm the one that kept money in all our pockets.
Evan, come here.
I'm glad to see that your film has been entered into the film festival.
Hello, it's Lorenzo Pierre, coming in right now from Short Film Universe. Right now, I want you all to, man, we're excited. We're happy to have a good friend, Ronald Dolphus. Ronald Dolphus is in the studio from North Carolina. He's a local filmmaker. He does great projects, he does great work, and we have him in the studio right now to talk about his passion for film and just share some knowledge and wisdom about his journey through film. And you all, none other, Ronald Dolphus. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Happy to have you in. Just glad to have you here to talk about, man, just films, and you've been writing scripts. You do so much. And I think people need to hear that, and they need to learn, and that's what it's about. We want to inspire others to feel strong enough and have the bravery to jump out on their dreams and do what they do. So, Ronald, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey through film?
Glad to. Thanks for having me, Lorenzo. And like I said, I'm Ronald Dolphus. I'm a native of Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, born and raised, and I'm a son of a librarian.
Okay.
And that's how I got my start in loving books and literature and stories. You know, from being in the library. I get out of school for grade school, walk out of, leave the school and then walk to the library so my mom could take me home, and I'd be at the library waiting for her to get off.
Okay.
And I had all these books to read, and that's how
Oh my goodness, so that makes sense. Like that, as your mother being a librarian, that kind of got you to studying so much about historical pieces, and you learn history, you learn just how to format and do all that stuff. So
I'm a history buff. That's my favorite subject in school.
Ah man, that's
Didn't
awesome.
do too good in math though, but but history, I love history,
Right.
and I went throughout my life. I went through the military.
Okay.
And started family, and then worked many jobs. Had a career in the financial services industry, and then once I left that industry, I said I wanted to do more as pursue my dreams. Wait till the kids got older,
Right.
and of course I got involved with the church, and me and my wife Regina, we started a church ministry. In the church, we teach the youth in the congregation how to act. So we called it the Rising Stars.
That is
Drama
awesome.
Club,
That is awesome. So how did you, when did you write your first script?
My first script was writing for the church.
Okay.
But then we decided to, instead of having it just in the church, we decided to take that to the community. So we started a nonprofit called GPT Theater in Charlotte, and we had take youth from the community, particularly East Charlotte, and we had space in recreation centers, and we take these low to middle income youth and teach them how to act, and we put on plays, and I wrote most of the scripts myself, so that's how it got to that part of me directing the youth and also directing the adults, because in the plays that we had for the nonprofit theater company, we had the adults acting with the youth.
Oh my goodness. You brought so much excitement to people, because I can only imagine you giving opportunities to people who never thought they'd be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
And I know they probably thankful to this day for that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Teaching them self-confidence, because most of the time, the youth that we have, and we still have, the nonprofit is still going on, never acted before. So this builds up their self-esteem, their confidence. There's a lot of team building skills. And many times, when we go through a season with the youth, their parents will come back, and, sometimes parents would be like about to cry to say, my child was so shy and so to themselves and, didn't have no confidence in them. But once they got through the program, they was able to go out on that stage and act, and, they was very grateful for
man, that is crazy right there.
That's how we, after that, we started to go from stage productions to short films.
So when you say you and your wife too, so y'all both kind of came together collective, like just came in a production, started a production company, and now you all got into making short films.
Yes, right.
You all got into doing those kind of things. How did y'all take it to that next level outside of like the church, doing them projects? Did you have that did you already have a vision in place?
Yeah, I always wanted to be I have been a writer. And of course I don't, recommend nobody waiting for, for years to pursue their dream, but just worked out that my time wasn't, when I was younger.
Right.
But my time comes when I am older. And that's why I decided to pursue my dreams and, start directing, go from stage and directing short films.
And you know what? And I got to speak on it because, like I said, when we talk about writers, I want you to know this. Like, I've seen a whole lot of different writers. And I like to write myself, so I ain't say judge, but I got a good eye, and I know what I like. But when I seen your style of writing, man, I got to let you know that it is phenomenal. Like, the way you can keep a script moving, you're talking about feature films, short films. You got a way of really making people get gripped in a story. You caught me in the story and I was stuck. Like I couldn't even stop watching and I couldn't stop reading the script. So I just want to let you know that definitely that's something that I am impressed with. And you recently done a short film. The first short film was Yankee Escapee.
Yes.
Yankee Escapee. Oh my goodness, man, that's a phenomenal project. And could you tell us a little bit about Yankee Escapee and how that came about, and what was your inspiration for even writing the script?
Yeah, my inspiration at being a history buff, the most well-known and critical point of history was the Civil War. That's the point of history when the Americans was actually fighting against Americans, and that's kind of draw me to the story. And my thought about it was that in many stories I've seen, in many instances in history, we had enslaved people, bondage, escaping, running away so they can get freedom, and they found refuge in the home of white people. We see that all the time. It happened many times in history. We see that a lot in the movies. But I wanted to turn the story around. I wanted to make a story about Union prisoners of war on the northern side. They were prisoners of war, but they escaped. And while they was running to the woods to try to get away, they was being chased by the Confederates. But they were taken into the home of free black people, hiding out in their home, because there were free black people in the South. Even though actually, one history fact is there were more free black people living in the South during the Civil War than there was in the North. Of course, they faced much discrimination and oppression, even though they were not slaves per se. But that's the story. And the Union soldier, he finds refuge with a free black farmer, and they have a discussion about how he got to. And the soldier is amazed that a black person can have his own farm and have his own livestock. And
that's what I mean by you as a writer. You're sharing stories, man, that we need to see, children need to see, people all over the world need to see, and they can learn something. I feel like a whole family could sit down and just watch this and soak it all in. And when we come back, what I want to do right now, I want the viewers to get ready to watch Yankee Escape.
Yes.
I want them to see this, and then when we come back, we'll talk. Got some more questions. You all right now, we're getting ready to take you to Ronald Dolphus short film, Yankee Escapee. You all stay tuned.
We've got to separate. Meet me at the river.
Tomorrow?
Yes, after sunrise. Good luck.
I wouldn't go up there if I was you.
Oh my. You must excuse my manners. I forgot what good food tastes like. All I got in prison camp was hog slop.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Is this farm all yours?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Forgive my ignorance, but I never heard of Negro people being free, let alone owning land. Where I come from, it is so far up north. It is almost Canada. Nothing but white folks. And white snow, too. I heard all the Negroes were held on great big fancy plantations.
There's a big house or two like that nearby.
And your neighbor and his son, is that his farm too?
That's his farm. But that ain't his son. That's his slave.
By golly, Negroes owning Negroes? As slaves? Well, I never heard of such a thing.
He's peculiar like that.
And you better be glad that my husband stopped you from going over there. That man would have told the soldiers to come and get you.
What? Why would he do that?
Like I said, he's a peculiar fella.
You sure do have some long hair.
Yes, they seldom allowed us scissors at prison camp.
My wife sure do love your hair. She don't play with my hair like she playing with yours.
Thank you for the meal. You're blessed to have good food and a home.
Mm-hmm. It is a blessing to be free, but there are thousands, even millions of people held in bondage. Many suffer terrible things. That's slavery for you, my friend.
Well, I didn't know before, but I know now. Where I come from, we're so concerned with our own livelihoods that we had no time to think about slavery so far down south. Well, with the war dragging on and all, most of us Union boys didn't think the war was even worth fighting. After being locked in prison and beaten like dogs, breathing in the filthy odors and trying to sleep with rats crawling all over you, well, perhaps if this will end slavery, this war is worth fighting.
We believe that too. That's why we's helping you.
But if you're caught, you could lose your freedom.
Oh, it wouldn't be the first time. You see, I was born a slave.
Really?
Yep. But my former master freed me. And 2 years later, I saved up enough money to buy my pretty old little wife here. After I bought her, I freed her so we can marry all proper life.
Now that is peculiar. But I suppose it's no different than paying a dowry for a wife. Oh my gosh, speaking of payment, I wish there was something that I could do to repay you for what you're doing for me.
Don't worry. I'll think of something.
We're looking for some Yankee prisoners. Have you seen them around here?
Oh, no, sir.
What's wrong with you?
No, sir, I haven't seen anyone.
You're not hiding the bluebellies in here, are you?
Oh, no, sir, not at all.
Get out of my way. Back up!
No, sir.
Who are you? What do you want?
Pardon me, ma'am. I'm Sergeant Jones. We're just looking for a couple of Yankee prisoners.
Do I look like a Yankee to you?
No, ma'am.
How dare you rudely break in here? Get out!
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Get out of here! Get
Sorry,
out!
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry about all that commotion.
It's just the sergeant's bad manners. But I reckon he was only doing his duty. Oh my, I look so beautiful.
You got some clothes?
Got some food, too.
Starving. While you were sleeping in a warm house, I was out here in the woods with the deer. A couple times, I heard them coming around in the dark. Thought they were rebels. They scared the hell out of each other. Adam, what the hell happened to your hair?
Your hair looks really good on you.
Thank you. Like I said, that girl makes the best wigs in all of North Carolina.
But wasn't you afraid? I heard that there were some escaped Yankees nearby.
A little bit. But now that you mention it, while I was coming home, I had the strangest feeling that one of those scoundrels was lurking nearby.
I remember what you promised when we first came down here for the war. You said you were gonna whip the entire rebel army and make a Southern Belle happy.
Well, at least I made a Southern Belle happy.
Hi, my name is Lauren and welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your film live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your TV show, sitcom, and showcase and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are exciting times that we're in. Traditional TV is but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is on the Roku platform. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It has a viewership of 53 million and counting. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and showcasing your movie or show, or interested in coming in as a sponsor or advertiser, please send us your contact information with a brief description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you.
All right, everybody, so we are back at Short Film Universe with my good friend Ronald Dolphus. Y'all, we just witnessed and we just watched a great short film, Yankee Escapee. That's like, that's real, that's a real good one, man. I'm talking about, man, I was so impressed. And just the story, man. So I got some questions about that, actually. When you did this short film right here, man, it's making a big impact. I'm talking about, for me, I'm being honest, me just looking at it, it's something I can watch every other day. You know, it's some movies that you can watch. I got big movies I can watch one time every week or once every month. I may click on it, like, you know, but that's a short film that I can watch more than once. Oh yeah. It's something that it's not one that I could be like, all right, I don't want to see it no more. That's one I could watch. But I want to first know about the pre-production. Like, what was it like for you putting the pre-production together? You know, of course, getting your people together. Like, how did you go about reaching out to people? How did you put a team together that knocked this project out?
I just use networking, you know, email to people, use some Production Hub as a way to find, you know, people who technical and actors too. I use that. And use some of the actors. Production Hub is a website to find people who have talents. And that's how I was able to get in touch with Ben Allison, and he's the producer of the film, the executive producer along with me, and Kirk Braden, who was the cinematographer that you're familiar with, and then also some of the actors were part of my youth theater company as well. And the person who was with me when I was putting up the fence, he's a youth actor. And also a couple of others were there as observers. You know, they had some shadowing assignments. And then we got some professional actors too, local to the Charlotte area.
So you did all the casting?
Yes.
Look at you. You writing, you casting, directing, you basically producing.
Everything.
That's what it takes sometimes, son. Do you feel like doing everything, like you feel like you can be more hands-on? You can get a better outcome when you can be more hands-on in every area. Yeah, and sometimes hands-on when it's critical, but it also helps to find people to get things done for you so you won't, you know, fall to pieces mentally. And how long, that happens a lot. And how long did it take you all to shoot that short film?
It took us, you know, that film took us only about 2 days.
2 days,
Two big 4 days though.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, you know, from 7 in the morning to about 8 o'clock at night. But it was
man, that's awesome though. When you talk about post-production, like your editing, they done a great job on that. And how did that edit? How did that process go? Was it smooth? Good. Were you kind of in on that, looking in as well? Like, okay.
That was looked in on that too. One story about that too, when the 3 Southern Bells were coming down the steps, amazingly, and this is really amazingly, we missed that there was a thermostat on the wall. You know, we were in the house. There's a thermostat and a electric light. Chandelier light that was there. I never noticed. And it was a thermostat and a light switch that was on the wall. Because we rented the house though, but we went through, me and other people looked at it, we didn't even see that for a while. Yeah. Something like a Game of Thrones water bottle thing. Yeah. There's so much controversy about that. So we was, God, wow. So we had to get a VFX artist, a special effects artist, to kind of wipe out that light switch and the thermostat.
And that's the beauty in having them kind of people around.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, you gotta have that stuff, man. And like you say, I think you have a script supervisor, you know, people to keep an eye on the script and all of that. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what was your goal for the short film? Like, once you released it, like, what kind of avenues are you taking and did you take to kind of put it where you wanted to put it?
Yeah, we had public showings, you know, in the Charlotte area. We even showed one of them was at a family reunion, and it was a big, you know, because it was kind of like for a family union, you know, it's an African American family union, so
Yeah.
it's showing that, you know,
Oh
where
my
you come
goodness,
from,
man.
you know,
Especially-
and this family has reached into the 20th century, you know, and then also it showed in Hollywood at the Golden State Film Festival, and also
man.
showed at the Tennessee International Film Festival as well.
So when it came to the festivals, how did you get it? Would you like go to website? What was
Yeah,
your
I
journey
submitted
going?
it through a website called Film Freeway. We submitted it, and it was accepted, and never got to meet some people while we were showing. And,
That is awesome right there. I still believe, you know, I know of course you still can show that film. Like,
oh yeah, and it's available on YouTube. Anybody
oh,
can
it's
watch
available
it now.
on YouTube.
Good educational piece that you can pull it up, and you know, if you happen to be a teacher.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be good in schools. I think schools could benefit from that. A lot of schools should be able to show that. And you know, the beauty of it is it's not too long to where you need people attention for an hour and 30 minutes. I
Yes.
mean, you just saying, give me 10 minutes. and we're
Especially
gonna-
kids.
Yeah, especially kids with that short. Yeah. So that's awesome. So when you got finished with that, did you kind of get more of an inspiration to say, okay, I want to keep writing. I want to keep
Yeah.
on working.
Yeah.
Okay. How other stuff came into mind?
I had a tug on my heart to do another film in that time period. Instead of doing something fictional, I went back to a real life event. And that's how I came up with the idea for Lessons from Ebenezer Creek.
Okay.
Ebenezer Creek was a tragedy that happened right here in the state of Georgia in 1864 when the Union armies was marching through Georgia to conquer Georgia from the Confederacy. There were thousands of runaway slaves that followed behind the Union Army, for protection and to get away and to seek freedom.
Oh my goodness.
But sadly though, when they got close to Savannah, which is where the army was going, their destination, they crossed over this waterway called Ebenezer Creek, which was swollen by recent rains. They built a pontoon bridge, which was, wooden bridge over boats so they can get the soldiers across. But when the soldiers got across, they received orders to take up the bridge before the African Americans, people of bondage, can cross over themselves. And they didn't know why was the bridge taken up. They need to get across too.
Yeah.
So they can continue on with their protectors. So they took up the bridge, and all of a sudden, unfortunately, rebel soldiers came up behind them. So they had Confederate soldiers behind them and water in front of them, and the Union soldiers who were protecting them were gone. So there was a panic, and there was hundreds of men, women, and children drowned trying to, in this panic, trying to get away.
And that's a story. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't too knowledgeable about that particular moment. I
Yeah.
wasn't until you just pretty much spoke on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we hear about it, but the way you just broke that down
Yeah.
about the whole Ebenezer, the whole creek, about just showing how one army was trying to move and you had slaves behind them using them as protection.
Yes.
Like you say, the moment came where it couldn't be protected no more. And children, women drowning.
Drown, yeah. Kind of like almost like a Red Sea moment out of the Bible, but there was no way to go.
Man, so when you started writing that kind of script, do you write with a budget in your mind? Because I want to talk I want to know film-wise, how do you think when you writing? Because, some people can write, like they say, if you ain't got the budget, you're not finna have 20 police cars or 50 men chasing.
Yeah.
How do your mind go into writing when you writing?
Yeah, I try to get up as much money as I can, but I still was sticker shocked numerous times in making it.
So did you have any scenes you was writing and you was like, hold up, let me pull back on that scene?
Yeah, it's many times. I want to show more of the actual panic scene. I mean, more of the actual drowning scenes. It had some drowning scenes and more of the interaction between people that were left behind and those who made it across. And I wasn't able to, have the budget for that. But but I did get a very artistic That's what we say. We don't have the money to really show the actual, because because the short film could have been made for $1 million and a lot.
Yeah.
But you have to do it in a more artistic fashion, just to get the point across.
And that's a gift. I believe being able to write like that, man, being able to switch it up. You know, you can go high, you can go low, you can, and still be able to make it in a certain level where people couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
Like, because I had to be honest, I looked at the trailer, and I let them like, this look like this big, this, because like I said, anytime you talk about period pieces, people run from them because it screams big budget. Yeah. Because you got costumes to worry about, you got where you gonna film to worry about.
Yeah.
So
a whole lot.
How did you find your locations? How do you go about that? Is that a hard process? Your clothes for the for these projects, the attire, is all that hard to come by?
It took a lot of work. Which filmmaking is work. A lot of times people think there's a lot of glory in it. But it's probably the least glorious thing I ever done because it's work.
Okay.
So yeah, got the costumes. We made our own some costumes. We rented from 2 places, and the film was shot at 3 locations. One was a YWCA camp called Camp Thunderbird, which is near Charlotte. We filmed also at Lake Norman State Park, which we had to pay rental fees for being a state park, and we also filmed at was called Ladder Plantation because it was actual plantation. Right. They renamed it Ladder Place in the, now that things are more changing since the 2020, the George Floyd revelations of that. That where plantations kind of make people unhappy.
Yeah, you
so
don't
this
like
place
that way.
was actually where people of bondage was held. Is now called Ladder Place, and that's in Charlotte because people that plantation.
That don't
people don't like
good.
that word no more.
Nah, you ain't gonna get no businesses like that.
Yeah.
So this is what I want to do. First I want to know when will this short film be? I know it's finished. Is it finished and everything? So you're waiting on it. You're waiting on a certain moment to release it, correct?
Yes, we done had a couple of private public showings, and it's about to be shown once again. Having it shown in Nashville at the Tennessee International Film Festival.
Okay.
And then we want to make maybe another couple of public screenings, and then in the next year it'll probably be available on YouTube with the other film. So it'll be available for those people to watch it, and also maybe on this. This is going to be shown on this here first, before that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to come back to see you.
Yeah, definitely. You got to.
We're going to show it.
You got to. But right now, this is what I want to do. I want to do something different. I'm going to get you to introduce this short film trailer. I want you to introduce the trailer to the people.
Okay.
And you speak to that camera and tell them.
Absolutely. Okay, you're about to watch the trailer for Lessons from Ebenezer Creek.
By Ronald Dolphus.
My name's Cole, and this is where I live. I stay with 7 others, but I still feel alone. My mother died a while ago, and I never knew my father. I never saw a town before, or an ocean. I only heard people tell of them to me. All I'm aware of is the sky, the trees, and the long stretches of farmland. Some folks say we will be free from slavery soon, free from fear and punishment, and that we will have plenty to eat and a nicer home to live in, just like the children Moses led out of Egypt a long, long time ago. It is my favorite story of all stories the grown-ups tell. In my mind, I can see the children coming to the Red Sea with soldiers racing behind them with horses and chariots, spears, and swords to kill him. Then God separates the sea, making a path of dry land for them to escape to the other side. Then God uses that same water to drown all those soldiers. One morning I woke up, and it was the day we left to search for freedom. And many people left from other plantations people I never saw before. We didn't move anywhere. You let me fall in the water. I was afraid. You did that. You scared yourself into that water. I was not going back. It won't work. Don't you give up. Get away from me. Cora, you please. Go away.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Short Film Universe with Ronald Dolphus. Man, look, we just got through witnessing watching this great short film. When I tell you, well, the trailer, when I tell you, man, from the last one, from Yankees, Escapee to this, I'm talking about its consistency. I see you being very consistent as a writer, as a producer. I think your style is gonna make people, your name automatically is gonna, everybody gonna be able to be like, if you hear your name attached, they gonna automatically know we gotta pay attention and watch it. And that's special, man. I appreciate the knowledge that you share through film. I mean, a lot of people make films, and you know, I respect all art, you know, films, but just knowing you putting all this education and you packing it in, you like a history teacher, but you make it fun and exciting for anybody to sit back and watch, man. I want to talk about, like, is it anything you feel like you want the people to know about this short film, and anything else you feel like you don't want them to miss, like something deep down in your heart that like inspired you to really show this?
Yeah, definitely. You know what? I was thinking about history. My mom wanted me to be a history teacher.
And you is.
I went to the Army though. Yeah. She didn't like that.
Oh yeah, she was like, no, I don't want you to go over there. I want you.
But that was part of my development, though. You know, 'cause that's part of you know, because this was almost like I had a military show into it too. When you get that, because it involved two different armies. These refugees were caught between two armies, and when you answer that question for you, a lot of times being in America and being an African American and showing it to, and the film is for all people. But sometimes people, you know, especially African American people, they don't want to look back at that part of history. It makes them sad or ashamed. But the thing that people need to realize about this film, and that's why the title is called Lessons from Ebenezer Creek, is that we're going through this right now. You know, there are millions of people right now that are around the world, Europe. Think about Ukraine. Think about the people coming from Latin America trying to get away, trying to get to this country.
That is so true.
Asia, Africa, there are millions of people right now as we speak who are trying to get away from oppression, trying to get away from violence, and not to mention forced labor in third world countries. You know, people being forced to work in mines and fields. And then we don't even and then think about human trafficking, the sex trade. Millions more people are forced, because slavery goes on, is right now. You hear about it all the time. Young girls are, you know, being forced to do that.
Right.
And they actually in slavery now. You know, they be moving around. They're not in one spot like back in there, but now they be moving around. But they're still trapped. So that's why the world has not learned the lesson from.
That's powerful.
That right there, yeah.
That's powerful, because you did say something. A lot of times when we talk about these periodic pieces like that, people say, they just still talking about slavery. But like you said, that's happening today. As we speak. It may not be happening in your household, but someone in the world, that's what's going on. And it's lessons that we need to learn. And I really appreciate that. You being an artist and You bringing the art. I want to thank you for coming out to be on Short Film Universe today. It has been great. And I want to ask one more thing.
Sure.
What's your aspirations? What's next? Like, what other kind of things
Yeah,
you trying?
I like to do other period pieces, and I like to do some contemporary pieces too.
Yeah,
So I won't get bothered because people ask me, "We gonna do something for today's time?" I said, "Okay."
See, it's coming, huh?
Yeah, it's coming. Do something for this day and time.
Yeah.
I want to do maybe one or more short films, but I do want to do a feature. You know,
It's coming, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
coming,
tell it.
yeah.
I see it right now.
I know you done a feature.
Hey, I see it.
We'll do a full-length
Look,
feature. Yeah.
We appreciate you, man, for coming out, man, all the way from North Carolina. Man, it's gonna be great, man, and I appreciate you.
And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
And for my wife too. Yes.
Oh yeah, we gotta thank the wife, man. Wish we could have got her in the show as well, but she been a big part of what you've been doing, man. And we all want to definitely appreciate Ronald's wife, and we just look forward to seeing what's next.
Okay.
I can tell you some good stuff coming next. I just know it's gonna happen.
Oh yes.
And we definitely gonna be updated. We're gonna have you back on the show.
Yes.
Because we still want to see that short film. You got to bring that back here.
Yeah, come
you
back
gotta
and
bring
show
it here.
Yeah.
And you all, thank you. It's been a great time. Y'all have been tuned in. 1061 TV, Short Film Universe. I'm your host, Lorenzo Pierre. Y'all be blessed. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brandy Garrett. Welcome to Short Film Universe. How did you get started in the film business?
I'm the one that kept money in all our pockets.
Man, come here.
I'm glad to see that your film has been entered into the film festival.